I'd be remiss if I didn't start my show off with congratulations to our father, Pope Leo the 14th. And I hope he is an absolutely sensational pope. You know, you get emotional when you're a Catholic and leader of our church. And when you've been raised your entire life, I think today reminds you of some of the things that when things are going rough in your life, that puts a smile on your face, or smiling tears, as I like to say when I was younger. I know my aunt right now is very emotional with that. So congratulations to Pope Leo the 14th. I think that's sensational. Godspeed. And I can't wait to see what's next for the Catholic Church as we move forward. So enough of that. I think it's great. It's one of the great events. I agree, Sue. I got emotional too. I always do. Sue, I was telling Xander, one of the coolest things on the planet that I got a chance to do was for John Paul II. My Catholic school got a chance to go down with. We were the Archdiocese of Bridgeport, one in New York, one in New Jersey, and we got to be altar boys, Yankee Stadium, for John Paul II when he came to New York. So pretty cool stuff, man. Great stuff for all. God bless everyone. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. Hey, by the way, let me ask you something here. I thought I saw Jalen Hurts on a horse at the cricket club. But I mean, did I see that? Jalen Hurts on a horse at the cricket club. I mean, holy cow. Boy, I got to like Barkley, man. This guy is the man of the people. Hurts, on the other hand, you know, I don't know, man. If I had to look at a dude that is every guy's man, that's Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, man. I can identify with that dude. Hurts, on the other hand, Met Galas and, you know, I don't know, you know, cricket clubs and whatever. You know, I just, you know, yeah. You know, he's over at the cricket club. Thank you there, Xander. I know you got it with me too, man. So we're all good. Hey, very good. I'll go to the cricket club today in Philadelphia. By the way, a little rain shouldn't dampen the spirits of what's going on. Barkley's the team captain. Who are you kidding there, man? Hey, by the way, can I ask somebody this? So before we get going here, please hit the like button, guys. So Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship are going to start a podcast called The Excited White Dudes. Hey, wait a minute now. Sills acts like he's a member of Bushwood Country Club. Yeah, that's me. I look like I'm a member of the country club. So wait a minute. The Excited White Dudes. How do you guys feel about that? The Excited White Dudes. Hey, can I name my show that? The Excited White Dude. Okay, I mean, man, boy, people could say a lot of shit today, can't they? Man, not me. I couldn't do that. Hey, Excited White Dudes. You got me there, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to watch it for sure. Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. The Excited White Dudes. Man, how about that name? What do you make of that for a podcast? The Excited White Guy. Now, wait a minute. Does that mean only white football players can come on? Okay. That's pretty true. You ain't white, I'm Italian. That's damn true. How you doing? Look at this here, man. Look at LJ, Canadian guy, even going stereotype on me. Sileo, you ain't white, you're Italian. Nice job there, LJ. No wonder we shut the border off. Canada. Like, what is one thing Canada? No, wait, I'll tell you what. The NHL playoffs have been pretty good. Okay, the NHL playoffs have been pretty dope. So they are delivering. And by the way, hey, LJ, just so you know, I'm pulling for Toronto. You know, the Maple Leafs haven't won a championship since 1967. Okay, I'm so not pulling for the Florida Panthers. Okay, so I am rooting for the Toronto Maple Leafs. By the way, Max Domi, how you doing? Stills, it's an Oreo cookie. I'm good with that. I had a bag of Oreos the other day. Okay, uh-oh. If it's that means he's probably a Vancouver guy. He's a Canuck. Either no, or he could be an Ottawa Senator. He could be an Ottawa Senator. That's right, Bet. The schools. Yeah, they sent the schools, like, it's really cool what they did back in the day for Pope John Paul II. Calgary, got you, brother. Yeah, we were altar boys at Yankee Stadium for John Paul II. Then we had to go down and feed the poor down in the Bowery. It was pretty cool, man. Honestly, it was one of the greatest things I've ever done as a kid. I had just gotten to Catholic High. So it was really cool. They took a bunch of us, like 35 of us, and then I think from John Bosco. Does that sound right? Anybody in the New York area? John Bosco? Since I got a better name for the G and John podcast. Hey, no, I like the all. How about this? The all whites. White guys. Hey, white guy. Instead of saying white guys can't jump, just say white guys can play DB. What do you make of that? White guys can play DB. Starring Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. How's that for you? What do you think? Good? No? We're good? I'm in. Hey, it's all in the name. Big Sills. How you doing? All right? Yeah. Oh, boy, do we have one for you today. By the way, Mark Farzetta is going to join us at 3:30. He's back. Dallas Goedert. How you doing? Hey, Dallas, take a pay cut. I'm going to ask you a question about that. Clancy Boylan is going to be with us, our crime fighter and sports guru from Morgan & Morgan will be with us at 4:30. Xander's going to join us at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. So let me ask you. Let me pick somebody out of here. Let me go Abe. Call him half and half, Sills. How you doing? Abe, I got a question for you. If your employer came to you and you had a job that potentially you could injure yourself, you had to go up on a ladder, you had to go up on wires, you had to go on a roof, you were a roofer, you were anybody like that, and your boss came to you and asked you, hey, listen, we're going to take a pay cut, and then after the year, we're going to find an employee to replace you. How engaged would you be in doing your job? How engaged would you be, Abe? Now, follow me again. Your boss comes to you, and you've been one of the best employees. He comes to you and says, hey, we need you to take a pay cut. Wait, everyone else got extensions and pay raises. Why am I taking a pay cut? I thought success meant we all profit from that. How come I'm not, as a player, Dallas Goedert, how come I'm not benefiting in the success of the team? How come I'm not benefiting from the success? So, Abe, how would you feel about maybe playing or working through a sickness? Or like Barkley did his last year in New York when New York didn't give him a contract, and he shut it down himself the last 3 weeks of the season so he wouldn't get hurt. How would you feel, Abe, if your employer had a company that was in a place where they had just had the best year in the history of the company? Other employees were benefiting. And they come to you and say, hey, we want you to take a pay cut during one of the most successful runs in Philadelphia Eagle history. How would you feel about playing through a sickness? An injury. Gabe says, I would feel disappointed and disrespected. Okay? Don't let Sil spin it. Dallas took a $4 million pay cut to stay 1 year with Michael Jordan of football. Who's that? He's not even the most important Eagle in the last 3 years. Let me ask you something here. So wait a minute. Spin what? So JD3 would be okay with a company that he worked for that celebrated one of the greatest windfall years in business history of the company. Numerous people got pay raises, but he's like, hey, I'm okay taking a $4 million pay cut and being told that I'm going to move on after you. And he's good with that. Well, I don't know. That guy's a bullshit artist. Says, I'm making business decisions, looking out for myself. That's right. Kyle, you know why? The Eagles are looking out in business decisions, aren't they not? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I make a business decision? The Eagles did. I have every right to act like them if I'm Dallas Goedert. How don't I? This guy's full of shit right here. If I miss, he didn't miss, this is a lie. He didn't miss 45% of his games. That's a fucking lie. Okay? That's a lie. Seals, Goedert had no choice, to be honest. No one called on trading for Goedert. He only did this to himself. What did he do to himself? He performed in the playoffs for you. He's one of the top 5 tight ends in the league. What did he do that was so wrong? But basically, I heard also that Howie Roseman was going around talking to agents like Drew Rosenhaus, saying that the only reason we're moving off the players because he's injured 20% of the time. Jesus Christ, you're talking shit on the guy so you lower his market value and his market opportunity. Nice job. Hey, Howie did the right thing for the owner. He wasn't looking out for the player. Don't ever let that guy bullshit you and tell you. Drew Rosenhaus told me himself that when teams were calling about Goedert, like the Chargers, the biggest question asked was, hey, how come you got him and let his agent seek a trade? Well, we don't feel the player's healthy. That's out of Howie Roseman's mouth. Hey, remember, he works for Jeffrey Lurie, not for Dallas Goedert. He's not Dallas Goedert's friend. General managers are looking to downsize like they did this year at any opportunity they can. Yeah, you know who lowered the market? The best GM in football. Dallas Goedert didn't have a market because Howie Roseman, by allowing the agent to seek permission for a trade, that lowered the market on Dallas Goedert even before the phone calls came. What kind of relationship do you think that's going to be this year between Goedert and the Eagles? I would definitely say that probably, hey, look, I've got to look at it like this. Fuck the Eagles. So I've got to go out and play and show that I'm worthy. Goedert's not looking for a giant annual paycheck. You know what he's looking for? One last guaranteed bag of money. Whatever that looks like. And the Eagles didn't even offer it to him. They didn't want to offer it, and they're not ever going to offer it to him. It's a shitty way and a disrespectful way of treating the kid. However, Howie took a dump on him, like we said yesterday, and the Eagles won. Like again, they never offered Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. Milton Williams, I heard there were some deals on the table. He said, absolutely not. He knew what his market value was. Milton Williams, right now, the dude's on the gravy train. He's got his ring. He don't ever have to do that shit again. Now he can run around. Hey, well, Sills, he's probably going to really suck in New England. Yeah, to the tune of $125 or $150 million. All right, great. All right, I suck for $125 million. Sure. No problem. Well, you're going to a bad situation. No, I'm not. Every Tuesday it says it's not a bad situation. Okay? That's a great take. That's a great take. That is absolutely true. Little intelligent man, that's a great take. Dan Sileo, the Eagles are running the franchise like the Patriots. Patriots never paid like that either. Got to respect them. Okay. Hey, fans are going to respect the team more than they're going to respect the players. You know what? You understand that, right? Hey, little intelligent man. As soon as Josh Sweat and Milton Williams and C.J. Gardner were no longer Eagles, they suck. They were overrated. They can be replaced. Fans always side on the side of ownership in the team. Never on the player side. Wentz stinks. He's the worst player in the history of Jesus. Yeah, you don't back these players because as soon as they're no longer on your team, you take a shit on them. You take a shit on them. And by the way, the fans know this is Dallas Goedert's final season. How do you think you're going to treat him? Just asking. Have I said anything? Anything? That's wrong. Spin season? Get this. Let's take a look here on Sue, what I said that was spin. I asked you a question. You just had one of the here. Let's do it in chronological order. Did you not? Wait a minute, folks. Yes or no? Did you not have one of the greatest years in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles? Yes or no? I'll leave all the answers up to you. Did you not have one of the greatest years in Eagle history? Yes or no? Yep. Okay. So, when a company has a great year, are there not bonuses? If you have great return for your company and your company has a windfall and you succeed, Barkley got a raise. Landing got a raise. Bond got a raise. Greatest year, maybe, in the history of the Eagles. Oh, and by the way, for the record, Milton Williams got a raise. Josh Sweat got a raise. Gardner Johnson's now in a new situation making $11.2 million. See who else? Isaiah Rodgers got a raise. Who else? Brett Johnson got a raise. Dallas Goedert got demoted in salary. Am I wrong? Slade got a raise at $11 million. Everyone got a raise but Goedert. So, okay. Why? Okay, so Goedert, the Eagles had a great year. I'm going to tell you in a second why it fucking matters. Eagles had the greatest year in company history. Everyone on the team got a raise except Dallas Goedert. Okay? You then turn around and you talk shit to other GMs on the player to lower the market and shrink the market. Howie being Howie. It's how he sees it, remember? Well, are you under the impression that they didn't want that player at their price and at what they wanted? They weren't playing fair ball. Who in your right mind thinks that a general manager in negotiations plays fair football? How many people in their right mind think anybody in business plays fair game? Act like you're not as dumb as some of you are commenting, because I know you're smarter than that. And you're just fighting something that's not true. So, everyone on your football team got a raise but Goedert. So, everything I've just said is not spin. Eagles had the best year in company history. Every single player that is either on the team or was up for money got a raise. Goedert's the only guy that got a pay cut. That's not spin. Number 4. If you're Dallas Goedert, why would I play hard? Because I want to audition for other teams? Okay. Well, remember, Barkley shut it down the final 3 games of the year, his final year in New York, because he knew New York wasn't going to give him a contract. He made a business decision. It's okay for Barkley to make a business decision in New York. Why wouldn't it be okay for Dallas Goedert to make a business decision? 3 games remaining in the season. Barkley shut it down. Played 14 games that year. He missed 3 because he knew the New York Giants earlier in the beginning of the offseason told him they were not going to give him a new deal. Shoot, I didn't even notice Dallas missed 7 games. We went 6-1. Grant Calcaterra. Okay. Grant Calcaterra sucks. Wait a second. Sills is the guy to get a pay cut, go bitch about it, and not play hard. That's not what I said. Why do I feel entitled? I could understand if you lost the Super Bowl. At the end of the look at this. Check this out. Calcaterra now is the new golden child of Eagle fans, and Dallas Goedert is now a pariah. Once again, you turds take the side of management always over the players, and you always will. They screwed Reddick too. They gave Reddick's contract to Bryce Huff. Get this. Spin what? Nothing I said is spin. It's fact. You had one of the greatest years in Eagle history. Every single player that was up for money got a raise but one dude. Howie's talking shit to shrink the market for Dallas Goedert on his injuries. When I ask you, what's the incentive for Goedert to play hard? Barkley didn't. What have I said that's a lie? What have I said that's a lie? What have I said's a lie? I'm not spending nothing. I'm asking questions. Sills can't pay them all. Okay. What's my incentive not to have a business incentive, a business decision this year then? Like, if the Eagles are 10-6, God forbid, they're 10-6, they're going into the final week. They're going to be a wild card team, and there's been injuries throughout the whole thing. Why would I play the final game? What would be the point of playing when I'm going to be a free agent at the end of the year? Why would I play? To get hurt and lose a potential guaranteed signing bonus? Why would I? Why in the world would you? I'm going to play for the team because that's the team. You guys are high school. You guys are like Nicky High School. Oh, you play for the team. This is professional football. Paychecks come with it. There's no incentive in the world to play hard. None. I'm not suggesting Howie didn't do the right thing. He undermined the player, shrunk his market, gave him a pay cut in light of the best year in the company's history. That's some fucking way to do business with a guy who you tell people you like. My God almighty. They remind me of that one, Xander. So let me get this right. Hey, Sills, we love you so much, man. I'll tell you what, but we want you to take a 38% pay cut. They're talking out of both sides of their mouth. And by the way, they would never do that. They never have done that. The Eagles did it. And you guys are the one. I get this. I've not had this before. You're spinning it. 6-1. Calcaterra. Look at you spinning it. I'm just talking facts here. That's pretty crazy. I mean, think about that. You're the one spinning it today. I know this. Drew Rosenhaus said that the Los Angeles Chargers called because Chargers were thinking of doing tight ends in the draft or in free agency. And you know what the word going around was? Howie was doing this. Yeah, we gave permission to Dallas Goedert and his people so he could seek a trade. When asked the question why, he goes, we got problems with the injuries. Oh. Okay. Half the league shut off right there. Instead of just saying, hey, look, man, we got financial issues we have to deal with. No way. They put it on the player. How you doing? And by the way, I love people who put that shit out there. Still talks to no one. We talk to everyone. Yeah. If you showed up to 50, this is, hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Dude, thank you, JD3, for the super chat. I'm not reading that bullshit, but hey, thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. That's just a dumb thing, and I can't have that come out of my mouth like that because it's just stupid. This guy says that he misses half his games. This guy's a fucking idiot. Thank you for the super, though. Appreciate it. Hey, you got to love it. Hey, man. Greatest year in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. Your boss comes to you and tells you, hey, I know that everyone got a raise. See what Milton made and Josh and shit. Isaiah. Fred. Not you. No, not you, Dallas. We're going to have you take a 25% pay cut. Man, sounds like you really know what you're doing there. I'm not saying, hey, by the way, let me go on Howie's side. How can I get the player back the way I want it and how I want it? Talk shit on him because my reputation right now precedes me. I am the Super Bowl champion general manager, and everyone is singing my praises. So every time I say something, it has a little more value than, say, the general manager of the Jets. So when I say something about an issue with the player, most teams are probably going to take that verbatim, that there's a problem with Dallas Goedert, which is going to lessen his market. Of course it is. So we got the guy with a lesser market, and he had him at a $4.5 million pay cut at a 20% discount, and he got the player he wanted in the draft anyway for 1 year, Dallas Goedert. Perfectly stroked and done right. It's actually a masterclass on how to fuck a player over. It's an absolute masterclass. And he's not subject to not doing it like the rest of them. All the general managers do that. That's not anything new. Congratulations, Howie. That's how you screw a player over. I mean, you get the guy you want at the price you want. You pollute the market on the kid. And then you tell him, hey, we like you. Everybody gets a raise but you. How you doing? Only in Philly. And then what you have is fans in here spinning it. Calcaterra season. He misses a bunch of games. It starts the stuff right now. Milton Williams is overrated. Josh Sweat's overrated. Gardner Johnson was Xander saying, not really as important as people think. Isaiah Rodgers. They'll get it with Keeley. He's not that big a deal. Oren Burks those guys are all bums. And now Dallas Goedert's a bum. Oh, I'd say it too. Thank you, Howie. You know how to screw over a player. That's well done. That's professional. That is the best work I've seen Howie do. Outside of the Devontae contract, that right there is one of the best jobs I've ever seen on hosing a player over. Can't get around it. That was fantastic. Goat Howie, absolutely. That's how you screw a player over. And then you expect him to go out and play hard and run through a fire for you. I mean, it's an awful take because you don't want to hear the truth. Spin alert. Once again, ain't no spin. How would you feel if somebody came to you when your company had the best year in its history and everyone got a raise but you? He says that's spin. I call that facts. May 20th and 21st, I think that's happening. Mad spin? On what? What didn't you like, Joe? What's the spin? It's not an opinion. Wait a minute. What's the opinion? Everyone got a raise. You had the best year, and the only guy on the Eagle team that took a pay cut was Goedert. Who else took a pay cut? I must have missed it. What's the spin? What's the spin? Tell me what the spin is. How you screwed Goedert? So look at here. We'll do this one more time here. The Eagles had the greatest year in franchise history. Yes or no? We'll do it one last time for Brandon here. Did the Eagles have the best year in franchise history? Yes or no? Yes or no? That's not a fact? that the Eagles didn't have the best year in history? Did the Eagles have the best year in company history this past season? Yes or no? Okay. Did everybody whose money was up, did they get a raise? Shit, Slay got more money in Chicago or in Pittsburgh. Isaiah got more money. Fred got more money. Josh got more money. Milton got more money. Vaughn got more money. Barkley got a raise. Cam Jurgens got a raise. Who's the only guy that took a pay cut? Dallas Goedert. Is that spin? How's that spin? What are you talking about? Old news. Thank you for the 10 months. Look at this, guys. Sills, in your opinion, who was the worst free agent the Eagles signed? I don't know. All of them? Hey, by the way, you know all those guys that had 10 sack seasons like Uche and Ojalara? How do you know Huff's not that guy? 3 years from now, are you going to be looking back calling him Uche Joshua Uchalawa? Congratulations. Hey, Howie. That's how you hose a player over. Very professionally done. Well negotiated on how to screw a player over. Man, you can't get any better than that. Professional hose job. All right. Man. Okay. By the way, so I love watching Birds 365. I tried to watch that thing on 97.5, and seriously, it's not watchable. The Mike Menstrual show is not very good. And I got to tell you, I mean, I tried to watch it with Bill Cunnilingus and with Mike Menstrual, and I don't know. I was trying to watch it, and I just couldn't. So I love watching. Love it. I love watching Birds 365. Okay? But I'm going to ask Xander Kraus later on this question, and I'm going to ask you guys right now again. Where are you playing Jihaad Campbell again? I heard John McMullen talking, and so I had to put it on paper. I wrote down nickel, dime defense, a base 34, and a two-high safety defense. And I'm going to be interested. He says, well, if you're looking at the player in a position, what was the thing he called? What, the Joker? Somebody still has to come off the field. If you're creating, you can't have a 12th guy. So my question is, here's the nickel lineup. Let's just do this. There's the nickel lineup. In John's eyes, in nickel, Moro Ajomo's going to come out. And Dean is staying in. So Moro Ajomo would be the guy who comes out. So you're going to play him at end. Is that right? Cooper DeJean's the nickel. Moro Ajomo's the end. Jordan Davis the nose. Carter's the tackle. Nolan Smith's the end. I put Keely Ringo at the right corner. The Will is Bond. The Mike is Dean. Hughes the corner. Reed's the free. And I put Sidney back there as the strong. So you're telling me, in that front, Moro Ajomo comes off. Is that right? So you're taking Moro Ajomo and not Nakobe Dean off the guy's natural position. So I'm just going to circle that. So in nickel, the box represents that's where you're going to play Campbell in nickel, correct? Guys, Fangio will set the defense. No shit. No shit. But these are his defenses. I looked them up. So Moro Ajomo comes out. All right. So here's dime. Here's the dime front. Carter, DT. Carter is the left. Davis is the right. Nolan Smith's the right end. Ajomo is the left end. Cooper's in the nickel. Bonds in the mic. Nakobe is in, I guess that he comes off the field in dime. Because you're going to put Makuba in. Then you're going to have Ringo, Q. And then you're going to have Dean and Reed. So Nakobe comes off in dime. Yeah. Nakobe's coming off in dime. So again, were you playing in dime Jihaad Campbell? That's the defense. Where are you playing him? So you're replacing Ajomo again. Right? Very simple. There's the dime. So with Jomo again. Okay. Here's Vic's 2-eye safety. Yeah, here we go. Here's his 2-eye safety. There's 2-eye safety. Ajomo end. Carter and Davis tackle. Smith end. You've got Keely Ringo corner. You've got Q at the other one. The nickel's Cooper. The Mike is Dean. The Will is Bond. And they're your 2-eye safeties. Where is Jihaad Campbell playing? Ajomo. I'm just asking. Again, what's spin, dickhead? Just answer the fucking question. Where's he playing? John says Dean's not coming off the field. So did you draft Jihaad Campbell to replace Moro Ajomo? Where's he playing? Okay, where do you think Vic's going to play him? In this 2-high safety, which he plays 70% of the time. No, because what you're doing here is, what confuses people is conversation. When you show people like you do in a playbook, it's a little different because then you're asking a simple question. In his 2-eye safety, who's coming out? Who do you think Vic's going to take out? How about this? I'll ask you a question. Act like you have some brains. Who do you believe Vic Fangio in his 2-eye safety defense he's taking out? I'll take anything. Who's he taking out? Why is Moro Ajomo on end? Where are you going to play him? Carter or Davis' spot? I don't know. I don't know. According to John, Dean's not coming out. Well, if Dean's not coming out, where's he playing? And according to John McMullen, John's telling me, well, if you're looking at the player and you're putting him in a box, okay, well, there's only really 4 ways that Vic Fangio puts guys on a field. They're nickel, they're dime, base 34, and 2 high safety. There's no other scheme. I want to know where you guys think he's playing, because I sure don't know. Where is this guy playing? Looks to me they're playing him at end, right? And Moro Ajomo's out. Well, if Moro Ajomo's out, I thought he was the heir apparent to Milton Williams. I'm confused. Can you guys spin this for me? Can you guys please spin this for me? Your 31st pick in the NFL draft, where's he playing? Oh, I'm not saying he can't make plays. Where are you lining him up when they, hey, Twiz, when they say snap and the quarterback snaps the ball, where's he playing? Okay, so you're going to play him on the edge. You're taking Nolan Smith out? Linebacker. John says the linebackers aren't coming off the field. Can't be the linebackers. I don't really know. I'm just kind of confused. Where are you? Here, look. Let's go. We'll go to Nick. By the way, I took this out of Vic Fangio's playbook. I got this from Clint Hurt today. There's 4 real basic fronts they play. Here, let's do this. The nickel. Okay, so if the linebackers aren't coming out, where's he playing? You're putting him, you're not putting him in the interior. You're not taking Nolan Smith out. Whoa, wait a minute. No way. John said Dean's not coming out. So it's a Jomo. Since you're so smart, how about you tell big guy? Guys, this is called sports talk. I'm asking you where you think your defensive coordinator is going to put the 31st player in the draft. And if we're not going to give him a position, I don't give a shit if you guys want to line him up at safety. Where are you putting him in when the ball and the quarterback snap the frickin' ball? Where's he lined up? And if you say Joker, okay, well, what does that entail? Who are you taking off the field? Is that in? And by the way, just so you know, it's called a dog in a base 34. So there's your base 34. You got 2 ends. That cat is going to be Nolan. Ajomo's the other end. Your nose tackles at the nose is Carter. Your DE is Carter. The nose guard is Davis. Your corners are playing there. Hugh and Keeley. Your will linebackers, Nakobe. Your dog is Cooper. You're going to take Cooper DeJean off? I'm curious. Again, where are you playing him? You got to find a spot for him. Oh, I already know. I know where they're playing him. I know where they're playing him. I want to see if you do. Where do you think they're going to play Jihaad Campbell? Feels this year's post-injury 34 base. He's strong side OLB. A nickel, he's 4.25. Campbell is a linebacker next to Bond. He'll work into the edge rusher, allowing for his versatility. So, Bob, you agree with me. Nakobe Dean's off the field. And if anything, what you're going to do with Jihaad Campbell is this. He's going to line up on first and second down inside. And on third down, they're going to put him at end for Moro Jomo. Would you agree? That's how they're playing this guy. Nakobe's out first and second down. He ain't in there. Right? Hey, by the way, like I said, I mean, I'm just asking, okay, and when we get Xander on at 5, where are you playing him? I'm not. These are the fronts. Watch, folks. Here's nickel. Oh, here's nickel. Excuse me. Here's too high. Here's dime. And there's base. There's only 4 fronts. Where are you playing them? Well, if you don't want to, according to John, if you don't want to take Nakobe out, he's taking the spot of Moro Jomo. Now, is that for all 3 downs? Or is he a specialized player? Again. Hey, no, I don't need Johnny Mac to sit here and tell me that. All I got to do is listen. You guys, the beauty of 2 shows is this. John's talks in the morning, I talk in the afternoon, and that's why you guys come back and forth here. That's the difference. He and I see a lot of things different. Okay? Like I said, right? I'm afraid of people. I've been doing this for 40 years. Yeah, I'm sure I am. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So we playing them. Dude, don't make sense. How about this? Wait, guys. Here. Just answer the question. Were you playing him in nickel? God, Campbell. Just see if you guys will answer the question. See if you guys are older than 4 years old. Were you playing him in nickel? The top one. Were you playing him? I'll write it down here, remember. Where are you playing? Hey, Prince, then sit it out. Sills. Now, if Dean comes back from his injury and makes it possible for Howie to move off, that spells the end of Nolan next season. Now you're starting to go places, Bob. Do you not agree, Bob? At the end of this year, either Nakobe Dean are going to move off of Nolan Smith because they got to put a spot and put Jihaad Campbell somewhere, right? Do you agree that this year Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean, if one proves that they're more needed in Vic's scheme, the lesser guy's gone. I just wanted to get it correct. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, hey, I left it up to you. Nickel? Dime? And Vic's famous too high. There's only 11 spots on the field. You can't add somebody. This is not Canadian football. Someone has to come off the field. And if you don't want to put him in a box, okay. I gave you the option of 4 different fronts that Vic uses. And I wanted to draw it out so you could see it instead of hear it. Plotting the seeds. What do you mean plotting the seeds? What, that kid's going to suck? I don't believe he's going to suck. I don't. I think that kid's a good football player. I got talked out of that kid 3 months ago, and I don't know why I did that. I should have stuck to my guns. I kept going like this, my exact words. How is this guy not a Vic Fangio player? They'll never draft a linebacker. And I believed it, and I did believe that. Okay? Woo! Man. Like I said, the one thing that Big Sales does here, I'm going to have to take this one out. I love how you guys spun the Goedert thing today. Boy, I'll tell you what. You know what was great today? I've never seen you guys spin more topics. Usually that's me. But you guys were professional spin artists. I thought you were going to spin me a blanket today. It was incredible. I mean, one of the greatest spin yard jobs of all time, how you spun that Goedert. All the people on the team got a demotion in his pay. Everyone got a raise. Company had the greatest year in the history of the team. And everyone's like, hey, Howie season. No shit. Good job, man. Dallas Goedert's the only guy that had to take a pay raise in the greatest year of the company's profits. That's pretty good. And you guys spun it. Well, he's hurt all the time. That's just the beginning. He sucks. Don't worry. By next year, Dallas Goedert will be the enemy. Oh, shit. By the end of the year, Dallas Goedert will be the enemy. Okay. Woo, baby, man. I can't believe that one there. And look, and here's what I did. Here's how you guys spun this one. Where's he going to line up in nickel? Sileo, you think you know what you're doing? No, I'm just asking you. There's only 11 positions. It's not that hard to answer. And John says the backers aren't coming out. Moro Jomo. So I'm not even disputing that. So he comes out on nickel on a net package on nickel. So he takes over for Moro Jomo. So he's not playing first and second down. All right. Or if he's in base down here, is he not going to be in base? So you drafted a guy in the first round at 31 not to be a 3-down guy? Or are you going to move him to a backer, then on third down, move him to end? That's fine. I just want to know what you're doing. Get this. Hey, Prince, okay. Let's go with what John says. John says Dean's not being affected. So, by the way, I'm not disputing it. So that means, according to John McMullen, and nickel, he comes in for Moro Jomo. I heard them say in dime he's not coming out. So he's got to for Moro, Jomo, and dime. Okay? Dean and Bond are going to play in there. Okay. He's not playing base. Or are you playing and starting him first and second down at defensive end? I'm confused. Is it on base, 34? By the way, I'm not giving the guy a position either. I've got 4 different defensive fronts. And then in too high, looks to me like Moro Jomo, and that they want him to play end and not linebacker. Same can be said for Jacoby. Both are similar football players, but how valuable are they to the being on IR? No, absolutely true. He's the Joker, baby. Why so serious? Okay, so Joker, I'm assuming you mean dog. So here's the base 34. Your end out here is Moro Jomo. Your cat out here is Jihaad Campbell. Okay. Your end is Carter. And your nose is Davis. Your dog, I thought the dog was Cooper. Where's he playing? In base. Or does he play in base? This guy right here is Cooper. You're going to take Cooper DeJean out? Seals, how soon will Dean be back? I don't know. I've heard that he had a pretty good injury. He may be middle of camp from what I'm hearing. Sills, ideally, if I'm Vic's shoes and I'm in Vic's shoes, I want to see if Nolan can move to middle linebacker. Why, man? You're good. Why not use his 4.4 speed? I want to use his 4.4 speed on the edges. I want to get, bro, I'm not doing anything to Nolan inside. He is not an inside football player. He is an outside football player. I want him out in space. He was really good out in space, and I thought for a guy that's not the biggest dude, the way he set the edge, I thought he was really good. Okay? I thought he was really good. He's quick. I don't want to put him inside. Thank you, Prince. Hit that like button, guys. Okay? I mean, wow, you guys spun 2 topics really well today. Congratulations to you. Probably your greatest spin job in Big Sil's history. In 4 years, that was one of the best spin jobs by Eagle fans. Goedert sucks. He's lucky to be here. Take your money and shut the hell up. Jihaad Campbell's going to be your new defensive end. I got it. Okay. Dean's not coming off. He's going to play for Moro Jomo. And Goedert sucks. I love it. All right. Here's another one for you. By the way, bottom of the hour, Mark Farzetta will join us. We will have Cancey Bowlin with us, our crime fighter from Morgan & Morgan right here in Philadelphia. Big sports fan. We will talk with him. And then we will have Xander at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. How you doing? All right. So we got another one here for you. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Is there room for Bryce Huff this year? Do you guys have room for Bryce Huff? Here. Let's see here. There you go. So you got Nolan Smith. You got Jalix Hunt. You've got Jihaad Campbell, when healthy. Azeez Ojulari. And Joshua Uche. Where's Bryce Huff fit in this? Where's he fit? Where's Bryce Huff fit in that? Let's just take the top 3 guys. Are you taking reps away from Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, and Jihaad Campbell. And let's say the kid still can't play first and second down. As far as I'm concerned, Bryce Huff is Azeez Ojulari and Joshua Uche. They're the same guy. By the way, for the record, didn't both those players you signed have 10 sacks 1 year in their career? What separates those two guys from Bryce Huff? $51 million. They're the same guy. They're no different. 3 years from now, you'll be saying the same shit about Bryce Huff that you said about Azeez Ojulari. They're the same guy. He's no better than him. And the only difference is the money. If I'm not mistaken, Ojulari and Uche had 10 sack seasons. What makes Bryce Huff a better player? Where did you see he's a better player than those other two guys? Big difference? How? One guy was benched for the Super Bowl. Healthy bench. Vic didn't even want him in the locker room. I agree. I agree. Ojulari is a better player. I completely agree with that. One thing Bryce Huff has shown me, again, it's not the skill set of the player. It's the ability to play the run. He can't. And the Jets knew that. He didn't play the run in New York. Why would he play the run in Philly? Well, because you willed it? Or you projected it? That's correct, Bob. It's only timing. So the difference is timing. Huff hit the market at the right time. Ojulari missed the window. That is 1,000% the difference between the two players. They're the same guy. And whatever you see with Azeez Ojulari, I think he's better. I think he's a better ball player. I've seen more out of him than I have with Bryce Huff. So there's no room for this guy. If I'm Vic Fangio and I'm trying to find edge rushers, my edge rushers are Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Jihaad Campbell, and Azeez Ojulari. And the only way that Bryce Huff has room is the first month of the season. Because if Campbell can't play, Huff's career in Philadelphia will be on the line the first half of the season. And if he can't, I guarantee you by week 4, that guy is an inactive bench. And they will not have that. They will treat him like James Bradbury by week 4 of this year. And don't think they won't. They said, get this injury shit is bullshit. Let me tell you why. Hassan Reddick had a cast on his hand for the first 4 weeks, his final season in Philly. Does anybody know how many sacks that guy had still that year in a down year? Does anybody remember? How many sacks did Hassan Reddick have when he had a cast on his hand for a month? Does anybody remember? I thought it was 11 and a half. Okay. I mean, you guys said Hassan Reddick that year stunk. Hassan Reddick's worst year is better than any season you gave $51 million to. Where's the room for him? Who are you taking reps from? To try to make a contract fit? Wait a minute. I thought you guys were trying to make football players fit and not contracts fit. I'm not playing that guy. The only way I'm playing Bryce Huff this year is guess how? If Campbell can't play, I'm going to give him every opportunity without endangering the development of Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, and to try to resurrect Azeez Ojulari. Who knows, that Uche kid may play well. It's not trusting Vic. But I trust him too. Because he won't play a guy because of money. He did it a year ago. Bradbury sat on his ass. They benched Devin White. And Bryce Huff was deactivated. I totally trust him. Money will not rule who plays in Philadelphia on defense. That's not happening. Nor draft picks. And where you were drafted in the draft, whether you're a second or seventh rounder, that guy's playing the best football player possible. My problem, again, comes back with, hang on here. So Bryce Huff's going to get an opportunity this year. Over whose reps? I'm not taking Jalix Hunt's reps away. I think there's something to that kid. Okay? Nolan came on. Hey, by the way, you know what Nolan Smith is to me? Nolan Smith is, to me, I saw enough of him at the end of the year that I wanted to definitely move forward with him and finding out what he is. I still don't know yet. He went from a turd burger to a guy where I went, hey, you know what? Inside of Vic's system and scheme, there's something there. And I want to see what that could be. Vic doesn't know yet. Can he play 17 straight? Can he play 700 reps? That's a lot of football. Okay? Once again, it's not the fact that he's a dog. Dallas Goedert's a dog. You're moving off the tight end because he's injured. Remember, Dank? Dallas Goedert's a dog. What's that got to do with the player? Nothing. Dallas Goedert's a dog. Can't stay healthy. And you can't play healthy. Then, I mean, what's the point? Nolan will play hurt. Like I said, the topic was, who are you taking the reps from? You said you don't know what he is. No, I don't. 7 games don't make a career. Ask here. Let me show you why. See this take here? What is it? You said you don't know what he is. I'm going to show you guys something on why Dank doesn't get it, nor do many of you. Let's see here. Let's go here with this. Azeez Ojulari stats. I think he's a good football player. Now, this is consistent. 8.5, 2.5, not good, 6. In 4 years, he's got 22.5 sacks. That's not awful being in a specialty role. Let's take a look at this. And go over here with this one. Joshua Uche. Uche. And his wonderful stats. Okay. Remember, I'm telling you this. What we're doing here. Josh Uche. So here, let's do this. Joshua Uche, 1 sack, 3 sacks, 11 and a half. What a ball player. Unbelievable. Insane. 9 tackles for loss. Unbelievable. After that, 3, 2, 2, none. What happened to him? What happened to him? What happened to the guy? Let's take a look at Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff. Let's take a look at this guy. 2, 2, 3, 10, 2. What happened to him? How is he any different than Joshua Uche? Bryce Huff is Joshua Uche. No different. Only difference is that Uche played for Belichick. It was a 3-down lineman. Huff has never been. How do you know that Nolan Smith is not going to have 2, 3, 2? How do you know that? I don't. And I'm not saying he's going to. I want to see what the player's going to do here. Being a full-time starter. There's a difference from going from being a guy who wasn't a full-time starter to being a full-time starter. It doesn't mean, because you saw 7 sacks, that guy's going to translate into being a 3-down guy. Injuries, health, size, scheme, talent, all play a factor. That's what I'm saying. Keeping it real. How you guys spending that one? So Bryce Huff, a $51 million toyed. Man, this is a lot of fun today. I'm having a fun day, man. Yes, sir. New Pope. A lot of love. And it's instead of me, it's you spinning. Goddard sucks. He's no good. Everyone got a pay raise. Greatest year in the history of the organization and in the company. Hey, you over there. You're going to take a pay raise. No one else did, but you are. Were you playing John Campbell? I don't know. But we'll find a spot. Okay, well, where is that spot? I don't want to answer that now. All right. Oh, Bryce Huff. Who you taking reps from? I don't know. Don't worry. We'll find it. Howie season. All right. I'm like, hey, man, congratulations. You guys are killing it today. Keep it up great. You should hit the like button because today's a day of you. How many teams in NFL history have had back-to-back number 1 defenses? Great question, Dirty D. Maybe those Steeler teams back in the day? I don't know, man. That's a great question. Look at Kyle. Kyle, wait a minute. Are you setting them up? Come on, Kyle. Are you setting them up? Well, Kyle, I'll tell you something. It's interesting you should say that. Okay? Because, 1 year they were 2nd. The next year they were 28th. Okay? I mean, so I don't know. The Ravens, really? Seals me personally, to be good, we need to be consistent. Nolan Smith have 4 good games. Listen, Kyle, I'm going forward with him. I want to see what he is. To be good, you need to be consistent. Nolan Smith, again, seeing him do it over a 4-game, and then you start to see him continue to get better and better each year. That's how I look at a guy, too. These guys look at a guy 1 season, he's the greatest thing in the history of Moses and such. You know what I mean? Seals, what defense do you think was better, 2000 Ravens or Legion of Boom or the Eagles 25 defense? Ask yourself this, Joker. What was tougher to build? 2000 Ravens, it's getting it right in the draft. The Legion of Boom, I really like that Seattle team because why? Can you name me a first rounder that played in the secondary on the Legion of Boom? Cam Chancellor, I think, was a fourth rounder. I think Richard Sherman was a second rounder. I can't remember. I don't think that secondary had any first rounders on it. Was Earl Thomas a first rounder? Okay, Earl Thomas was a first rounder. Okay, so a lot of those were late picks. Thomas, okay, guys, thank you. Yeah, Earl Thomas. I know Michael Bennett was a free agent. Right? Earl Thomas was a fifth rounder? No, was he? He was a first rounder, or was he a fifth? He was a great football player. Okay, he was. He was the first. Okay, thanks, Steve. Yeah, when you look at that defense was made with a lot of guys that were late round picks. Sherman was a fifth. That's right. Sherman was the fifth. Thomas was the first rounder that was on that. I don't think there were a lot of first rounders on that. Thomas first, Sherman fifth, Chancellor fifth. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Flexen. This last year is the most incredible defense I've ever seen built. That was probably my biggest ass with it being ripped apart. I've never seen anybody just find guys. You found something special, all that versatility you had, and you just shattered it. And to start all over again. And then when you say core, listen, core, it's about a group. And just because you have, hey, here's the core of the defense in Dallas is Michael Parsons. The core of the defense in Cleveland, who was number 1 2 years ago, is Myles Garrett. I mean, the core, dude, this is a group effort. This is a group effort. And you got a bunch of new faces in the building. No, I don't suggest that. You got better coaching on defense. I'll say this to you. The Philadelphia Eagles have as good a defensive coaching staff as they had in 91. This is the best coaching staff you've had since 1991 defensively. 91, 92, that group. This is the best defensive coaches that you've had since those guys. I mean, the coaching is insane great. Cowgirls' run game is still, absolutely, man. And their run defense. Hey, Joshua, you know what people got mad at me yesterday because I said the Cowboys and Dak and all that. Dude, the George Pickens sign, that didn't move me off my 7 or 8 wins for the Cowboys this year. I think they're going to be around in there somewhere. He's not a wins mover. You know why? You need to sign a D tackle, running back, run defender. That was not a wins mover. Now, your offensive passing game is better, but that doesn't necessarily translate to wins, does it? Hey, how many times have you seen the greatest passing offense on the planet? All of a sudden, you look at the record and you go, how's that team an 8-win team? Well, it's a team sport. You got to play defense. Seals, I would say since 99. Is that Ray Rhodes? I think that's Ray's group, no? Since that Ray Rhodes group? I think Rhodes was the head coach. Am I right, Kyle? Rhodes was the head coach in 99? Because Reed came in 2000, I think. Right? 98. Okay. Well, Ray was the defensive. Ray was the head coach of the year in the NFL. So, you guys have been absolutely sensational today in spinning stuff. Man, I didn't really project that much when it comes to like Philly guys. I know Mark Farzetta. By the way, I'm very sure he's very excited today new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th. Told you guys I was an altar boy. John Paul II in 79, at Yankee Stadium for the Pope. There's old Dan. Then we had to go down to the Bowery, and I was like, what's that? And we had to go down and feed like the soup kitchen guys and all that. It was pretty cool. The Archdiocese of Bridgeport, New Jersey, and also New York, I think Lower Manhattan, all went and were like choir boys there in 79. My aunt remembers me going there. It's pretty cool stuff here. So I'm sure he's excited about that. But that's not the big news. So I want to ask Mark Farzetta this before we bring him up. So let me say this again to Mark. Marky, you're ready. Just nod. There you go, Mark. Nod. Okay, he's nodding. He's in the green room nodding. So the company had the greatest year in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles with a gigantic windfall. Best year ever. Every employee benefited. I mean, Milton Williams gets a chance to make $26 million a year. Josh Sweat, 20. Barkley got a raise to $20 million. Isaiah Rodgers got $8 million a year in Minnesota. Oren Burks got more money in Cincinnati. Holy cow, where else are we going here? Fred Johnson got a raise in Jacksonville. So the general manager of your business comes to you and says, I know everybody in a windfall year, the greatest year of all time. Dallas, we want you to take a pay cut. I know you were instrumental in the playoffs, but we want you to take a pay cut. My take is this. I saw Saquon Barkley shut it down the last 3 games of the season in New York making business decisions. How motivated am I when I'm being told to take less money when everyone else is benefiting, and I've got to go out and play through injury for you because you told me, one, I'm on a 1-year deal. You didn't give me anything to tell me I'm coming back. What's the incentive for me to play hard? Everyone else made money but me. Let's bring in one of the top paisans in Philly. And he is one of my favorites too, by the way. Mark Farzetta. He joins us now here. I don't know, Farzy, what you make of the new Pope?
Are you kidding me? My son's name is Leo. So I moved up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? I moved up the ladder. All right. Also, I was happy to see the new Pope. I was happy to see the white smoke. I think that means that the tush push is not getting banned. So I think that's a big win for Eagles fans everywhere. And Chicago Bears fans, I'm sorry, just because your Pope is a Chicagoan, the Pope is a Chicagoan, doesn't mean you're going to meet the Green Bay Packers. I think you're going to need more than God to be able to upset the rivalry there. Big win for the Peruvians. Spent a lot of time down there. I've spent a week of my life